Russian commanders are said to be using FPV drones to attack their own soldiers if they fall back from assaults on Ukrainian positions. It's a modern equivalent of the Stalin-era blocking detachments, which shot Soviet soldiers who attempted to retreat. Pavel Abrosimov, an ex-convict from Volgograd who is now serving as a stormtrooper, has posted a video via his relatives in which he complains about the behavior of the leadership of the 33rd Motorized Rifle Regiment, Military Unit 82717. He says that after suffering an injury in which his left arm was rendered useless, he was treated in hospital at the end of December 2024, was assigned to fitness category G, temporarily unfit, and was ordered to take 30 days of sick leave. However, his commanders ignored this and ordered him back to the front lines. He also complained that he was not being paid the salary he was owed. At the same time, Abrosimov says his commander Meteor uses FPV kamikaze drones to force his men to advance. He says that he miraculously survived a previous assault, albeit evidently with injuries, with both the Ukrainians and his own side attacking the Russian stormtroopers with drones. Everything is simple for Meteor. If you stop somewhere, don't go, refuse. Then he simply urges his kamikazes on, our kamikazes, and starts to fuck us so that we run ahead of them. What's that supposed to mean? Yes, I'm a convict, yes, I was in jail, I've done time, but how am I different from regular personnel? I'm just as human as he is. I ask those who see this video, let them big it up further. Let people see what happens to us convicts. Let them call the Ministry of Defense. Get them to deal with it. It's not right. It's not human. However, it seems that his complaints may have doomed him. In February 2025, his unit prematurely announced that he was missing in action, before he got in touch again with his relatives with the video above. He stopped communicating after sending the video and has been officially MIA since 12th March. Pilots of the Kryla Omega strike UAV unit destroyed a Russian tank. At first, an FPV drone attack was stopped by a protective net, but there was no escape from heavy bomber drones. After the initial impact, the tank crew attempted to abandon the vehicle, but a second precision strike finished it off. This operation took place near Avdiivka, where Ukrainian drone units are increasingly using layered attacks, overwhelming Russian defenses with multiple types of UAVs. Kryla Omega's tactics are setting new standards for combined drone warfare on the front line. The Ukrainian armed forces showcased German HF-1 AI strike drones. Per build, over 1,000 were delivered by April. With AI targeting, they fly 100 kilometers, though troops favor 45 to 50 kilometers for up to an hour. Germany's new HF-1 AI strike drones are changing the battlefield. Designed for deep strike missions, they can autonomously identify and engage enemy vehicles and artillery. The HF-1 uses advanced target recognition software, allowing it to operate in GPS-jammed environments. Russians film a massive S-300 and S-400 launch, firing anti-aircraft rockets meant for targets up to 250 to 400 kilometers away, now also repurposed to strike ground sites in Ukraine. Russian forces have been filming the launch of S-300 missiles, using them against ground targets instead of their intended aerial threats. Originally designed as surface-to-air missiles, the S-300s cause massive but inaccurate damage when fired at cities and frontline positions. Analysts say this highlights a serious shortage of proper ground attack missiles in Russia's arsenal. The frequent use of air defense systems for ground strikes shows both desperation and a growing gap in Russia's long-range precision capabilities. Britain says Putin's spying on its nuclear subs with drones and oligarch yachts. Devices are found in UK waters, per the Sunday Times. Russia is also eyeing EU and the US underwater cables. Russian spy sensors believed to be tracking Britain's nuclear submarines have been discovered in UK waters. Officials now fear this is part of a covert Kremlin campaign to monitor and potentially sabotage critical infrastructure. The Sunday Times reports the discovery was deemed a serious national security risk, but has never been made public. Some of the devices were found washed ashore, while others were detected by Royal Navy minehunter ships. Defense sources believe they were planted to gather intelligence on the UK's 4 Vanguard-class submarines. These carry nuclear missiles and are meant to operate undetected as part of the UK's at-sea deterrent. The Ministry of Defense suspects Russia deployed the spy gear as part of a wider campaign of gray zone warfare, targeting cables, pipelines, and undersea assets. Last year, Russian ships were repeatedly spotted near sensitive infrastructure, including the Yantar, a suspected spy vessel seen lurking around pipelines and internet cables in the Irish Sea in November. Royal Navy warships and RAF Poseidon spy planes shadowed the Yantar as it hovered over deep-sea cables between Dublin and Liverpool. That same month, RAF fighter jets were scrambled to intercept a Russian warplane over the North Sea. Further surveillance uncovered unmanned Russian underwater vehicles operating near communications cables. Intelligence also suggested that superyachts owned by Russian oligarchs may have been used for underwater spying operations. Zelensky criticized the U.S. Embassy's response to the Kryvyi Rih attack. Such a strong country, such a strong people, yet such a weak reaction. They're even afraid to say Russian when talking about the missile that killed children. Zelensky blasts the world's weak response to Russia's ballistic strike on Kryvyi Rih, where kids died. Silence on Moscow killing with ballistics is dangerous. It fuels their war, he warns. He added, "Yes, the war must end, but that requires calling things by their name. We expect the U.S. to fulfill its commitment to finding additional Patriot systems." The number of wounded from the missile strike on Kryvyi Rih has risen to 72. Nearly half are hospitalized, with 17 in critical condition. 19 people were killed, 9 of them children.
To remain silent about the fact that it is Russia killing children with ballistic missiles is wrong. It is dangerous. It only incites the scoundrels in Moscow to continue the war and keep ignoring diplomacy. Weakness has never ended a war. Therefore, I am grateful to every country whose representatives have spoken out, leaders, foreign ministers, embassies. Volodymyr Zelensky, a Russian ballistic missile on the street of an ordinary city, on residential buildings, and after this strike, an additional drone strike, and another person died. There were also wounded. Russia must be held accountable for everything done. Pressure needs to be applied on them, really applied.
Thanks for watching, and don't forget to subscribe. Also, if you want to support Warthog Defense, please become our member and get early access to new videos, exclusive members-only videos, and become administrator in comment section. The membership link is in the description.
Every day. We had a guy last week, it's 6 rescues in 6 days. You know, he's doing the job every day.